was faster and faster.
You know, Honda didn't celebrate concession changes last year. They exposed what their 2027 master plan is. Look, everybody thought Honda was celebrating the simple move from Category D to Category C concessions. And some thought that was strange because normally losing concessions equals progress. But this time, at a time when they had unlimited testing, it was questioned. But for me, it revealed something much bigger going on behind the scenes. Because Honda, HRC, they're not reacting anymore, they're planning. And 2027 might already be theirs to lose. Now, what do I think the real reason behind the celebrations for the concessions? Going from D to C, they've gathered enough data on the 1000cc. They don't need unlimited testing anymore. They understand that that concept for this season is locked, their direction is clear, and the correlation between track performance and data for them is working. So this wasn't a celebration in the traditional terms, it was a confirmation. Honda know what they're building and they know what they're building right now. And more importantly, HRC Honda knows what's needed for 2027. Now, the 850cc regulation change bike timeline has just got flipped this week in Sepang. Aleix Espargaró was testing the 850cc earlier than planned. Originally, Taka Nakagami was handling all of the 850 development while Aleix stayed on the 1000. But the reality is he's jumped ship and he's moved across. So for me, that means that the 1000 is effectively frozen and the full focus is shifting to the 2027 regulations. Because if Aleix is already on the 850, Honda have already mentally checked out of the 1000cc bike that they're racing for 2026, the 213V. Now in Sepang, there's a bit of a hidden headline, the RC214V, that's the 850cc prototype with Pirelli tyres. Pirelli have provided some prototype tyres for testing. Now this is huge, new bike, new tyres, a total reset, and Honda already building a package with synergy. Some teams are still thinking only engine. Honda are thinking engine, chassis, aero, and tyre, the whole ecosystem of the bike. And that's how you win a regulation reset. You win it before it even starts. This isn't just development anymore. This is positioning the brand for 27. Now, the sad part of this was the injury of Aleix, 4 broken vertebrae, multiple concussions, and this is not small. Huge impact on him personally, but also on the development programs taking a hit. The feedback loop, Alex's input has gone, but I believe that Honda have already accelerated the development timeline so much that the damage may already be done to the competitors in a good way for 2027. Now, the other thing Honda want to do next year is they have a 6-bike ambition. Honda want 6 prototype bikes on the grid. Now, Gresini Racing, they said, no, we don't want to go to Honda. Possibly leverage with Ducati, but they're staying with Ducati. So that's a blow. But then Tech 3 potentially will switch from KTM supplied bikes to Honda. And Gunther Steiner, he's there to make an impact. His Formula One style, he wants to shake up the grid. And the 6 bikes will give them grid control and development speed. 6 bikes aren't just about racing, it's about data, dominance, and development. Now, the 2027 rider market is already moving, we know. Honda have already reportedly got Fabio Quartararo, and it looks like David Alonso, the future Moto2 star, is joining him. So factory Fabio Alonso, Tech 3, if it jumps across, Luca Marini and Mir's been rumoured to go to Trackhouse. And LCR, you've got Johan Zarco and Diego Moreira. And this is a full rebuild for the squad. And maybe they're keeping a spot for for a certain Marc Marquez? It's not out of the question. Anyway, there was some bad news for the HRC Honda plans. Kurt Triab, he's leaving HRC, he's going back to KTM. It hurts them because he's the bridge between Europe and Japan. And this is the guy that's leading engine development. It just goes to prove you can have the best laid plans in the world, but you lose one or two key people who make it work, then you've got a risk. All this stuff is dependent on the technical expertise. Now, Yamaha, they're making some big moves. AI Ogura signed for factory Yamaha, reportedly for 2027 to partner Jorge Martín. It's a very different philosophy to Honda, youth and aggression versus structure and rebuild. So Yamaha trying to do something. And also the domino sponsor, Monster Energy, could leave. Looks like they have left Yamaha. And they may well follow Fabio to Honda. This is massive. Sponsorship equals development budget and rider budget. It also signals a lack of belief in the project. If Monster moves, that's not marketing, that's inside confidence being lost. So Yamaha's real pressure, they're trying to prove the V4 1000 and they're likely to lose their star rider. Now they're losing their main sponsor. So the technical direction needs to be clarified and tight. Meanwhile, Honda are already pretty well aligned for 27. Two huge differences. Yamaha is still asking questions. Honda look like they may have found some answers. So Honda celebrating concessions wasn't about where they are, it's about knowing where they're going. And if the 850 project is already this far along, we might be watching the first moves of the next MotoGP dynasty. But what do you think out there? What do you think's going on? Do you think the reset has already started? Honda, are they the first ones out of the block? Have they made a jump on the rest of the competitors? And what about the rider lineup? What do you think? Do you think the 6-spike HRC approach is going to work? And what about Yamaha? Getting Ogura surely is a fantastic thing. But of course, sponsorship is huge in MotoGP. Monster may go to HRC and Yamaha need a new sponsor. Now, if they sign those riders, 3 of those Yamaha riders for next year are Red Bull athletes. So maybe there's a Red Bull alignment. Not too sure. But anyway, I'm interested to hear what you guys think. So why don't you drop down below in the comments what your thoughts are on the 850, Honda's testing strategy, and the changes that they're making for the 6 bikes. And of course, what do you think about Yamaha? And what do you think about Yamaha and AI Ogura's signing? Anyway, if you've enjoyed the episode today, then give us a thumbs up. If you're brand new here, welcome to With Anto MotoGP. And of course, why not share the video around? Anyway, I appreciate you watching here on Sunday Chat, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Okay, bye-bye.